because this building won lots of awards. Even the ceiling is recycled newspapers. This thing shows when you need to open or close windows. Students might receive funding for their startups up to £50,000, 5 million rubles. One of the original BBC offices is located here. This is one of the safest campuses in the entire UK. This building, I'm 100% sure that no one would know what movie this was in. It's Avengers, guys! You can create anything that comes to your mind. The city itself, Norwich, makes a good impression. Small streets, absence of non-stop traffic, clear air and calm, tenuous atmosphere. The locals say briefly about their city: we have everything. Norwich is a beautiful historic city with a rich heritage. Great attention is paid here towards art and culture, which cannot but inspire a new generation. It takes 15 minutes to get from Norwich to Cambridge and a little bit less than 2 hours to get to the center of London. Norwich is located in a national park, so the connection with nature is an integral part of the life of everyone living here. Perhaps that's the reason why many people don't want to move out. Norwich is one of the greenest cities in the country. Well, how's the city designed? What to expect from it? I'll talk about it in 6 parts. And perhaps I'm going to start with the Golden Triangle, which is commonly considered as the center of a student community. Terraced houses, green parks and a relaxed atmosphere make this district the most popular for living. The next one is the Lanes, a center of an independent business. Outlets, boutiques, pubs, coffee shops and craft stores. The next is a city center. It's better to go on your Shanks mare here because they try to minimize the number of cars in the heart of the city. It will allow you to appreciate fantastic architecture and one of the most visited libraries of the country. And of course, view goods suggested at the market, the history of which started 900 years ago. Tombland is one of the historical districts of Norwich, the homeland of Norwich Cathedral. The oldest Elm Hill Street goes here. You can find antique and bookstores there. Magdalen Street, you can get there by moving from Tombland over the Fire Bridge. A beautiful river embankment starts here. And finally, Riverside, originally an industrial district that has undergone a lot of changes since the end of 90s. Now its main object is the railway station in the north and the stadium of the Norwich City Football Club team in the south. The university has a small hotel on its territory. It's Broadview Lodge visitor accommodation. Now, many of those who come here are students, and I am staying here. The room is small, but in my view, it's very comfortable, convenient, with a big desk. There are many charges, which I need to charge all my cameras and gadgets. Well, maybe I was wrong though, the hotel isn't so small. Look how big the corridor is.
Doors closing.
My tour begins with this actually unbelievable building. As I've already been told, this building, the Enterprise Center, is an enterprise center or a business center, call it as you like. This building houses 150 companies, and all that you see is companies' offices, while this part is for students, and they interact with each other. This building has won lots of awards, despite I can say that it looks like wow from the outside. But look, everything here is eco-friendly. Only safe materials were used for construction here. Wood was brought here from local forests. Recycled wood from old university benches were used to build the facade of the building. So there are a lot of such things here when you go into details, lots of features. This is the lecture hall of Enterprise Center. Everything here is made of wood. Even the ceilings are recycled newspapers. Walls, the floor are super eco-friendly. I also want to show you seemingly simple but at the same time genius things. Doors are open everywhere and there are such benches with pillows fully upholstered in soft linen. The thing is that there is almost no echo in the hallway. There is no such noise like, when children run back and forth. But here, all these things absorb sound, and the ceiling absorbs sound as well. So when you are in the hallway, you don't hear this constant hum, and as I was told, students have a better rest this way. And that's why it's easy to conduct classes with open doors and no one distracts each other. I think that's very cool and well considered. All these are wooden fibers. Everything here is made of organic materials, and research about the impact of this on health and the learning process were conducted here. Also, I want to show you this thing. It shows when you need to open or close windows. There are technologies in this room that calculate optimal temperature for the most effective and comfortable studying at the moment. And this is, I guess, the least technological object here. These are just walls on which you're allowed to write on this and that one. So if you want to write something on the walls while working, you are welcome. These are just a few examples of companies located behind this door. Look, I don't know these companies, they're all local brands, and you can see them here. This is a sort of a co-working space behind this door. If you own a company or if you want to open your business, you can book a table or a section or an entire office and be here with other companies and students. And look, this is a student career center, but it's not just a center, it helps students to found their own startups. I mean, students really create startups here, and students can work with a mentor here. And here you can see a schedule of workshops or masterclasses. And right here, students' companies are shown. I mean, all of these companies are created by students. What's also cool is that students might receive funding for their startups. It's one of the alumni who has a huge business, and it's his foundation that allocates funds for students. You can receive up to £50,000 here for your startup. £50,000 equals 5 million rubles.
We're in the business school, so we have two families. We have a family of undergraduate programs, 3-year or 4-year courses, which if you include a year studying abroad or a year on placement, and then the MSc program, we have 17 courses, which has a big range of MScs. Some for students who've not had the chance to study business undergraduate level, and some who have studied at business level and want to become more advanced. We're in the Enterprise Centre now, which I'm sure you'll agree is a fantastic place to study and to support you to learn more about business. It's about your career, it's about your future. And I think we're in a building here, the Enterprise Centre now, where we have students and businesses in the same building. It's always thinking about that young person, how can we help them to build their better life? How can we help them to be more successful in their career? And that's about reality. Business is one of the best subjects in the world to study because it's all around us. You can learn from just talking to people. You can learn from when you're a customer. And I think that reality is a really important thing. So our teachers come from a great diversity of backgrounds. So I can talk about the business schools. So we have internationally recognized academics in their subject. We have people who've had quite, like me, I used to be a scientist before I became a business person. I've worked in the business sector. I'm a director of a company now. I can tell you what's going on in business today because it's part of my day-to-day activity. And we have a lot of people who work partly in the business school, partly in business. We have lots of people who come in and give guest lectures, or alumni who go on to do amazing things. They're very generous and they give their time and they share their experiences, and it's so powerful, so real, and looking way beyond what you can learn in a book. So people like Chadwick's, they're about helping people invest for the future, particularly business owners. They advise businesses on how to develop their business. People like Triple Bottom Line, they're an accountancy business who have their clients all around the UK, but they're very supportive of helping students start their businesses. WeatherQuest does bespoke weather forecasting for companies, and they all find there's great value in not only having a nice office on a university campus, but it allows them to recruit students and graduates and talent.
And this is the main hall of a very interesting faculty, the Science Building. It was built 2 years ago with an investment of more than £30 million. I'm not going to tell you about all science subjects that take place here, but there is a computer science, chemistry and biology here. For example, chemistry occupies first place in employment in Great Britain.
So right now we're in the new Science Building, which was built in September 2019. It was a £30 million investment in teaching for science and engineering. We have floor 1 for teaching environmental science, geography, physics, geophysics, computing science, and then floor 2 for biology, biochemistry, microbiology, and then the top floor for teaching chemistry, pharmacy and pharmacology. The reason we make a lot of links with both local and national and some international companies as well, where students can go and study on placement. We're very fortunate to be within the Norwich Research Park, okay? So basically 10 minutes walk from where I am now is the rest of the research institutes that are part of the research park. So this is very important if you're studying biology, chemistry, biochemistry, any of these areas, because you can put into practice things that you do on your course in the research institutes on the research park, where they look at different things on crop science, on agri-tech, on the food that we eat and how that affects our health. And they've also been doing some studies on genome sequence. Our BSc in computing science is our most flexible program. It's got the widest choice of modules. The most popular ones are cybersecurity, machine learning, and AI. They're the most popular, but we have quite a large collection of modules on our program, so students have a lot of choice. So if they're interested in computer graphics, which could be related to gaming or special effects, they're the ones I teach, so they can choose those, or they can choose computer vision or computational biology, or they can even go into sort of data science and those areas as well.
There are such things standing on the territory of the university. Look, this is for donation, so students can donate their clothes, toys and books for those in need. I want to show you the University Medical Center. You can go to a dentist or to get a medical examination, and look, this is a large, full-fledged medical center with its own pharmacy. This is the entrance where you can wait for your turn inside. It's closed now, but believe me, everything is made very nice inside. I didn't plan it, but I must show it to you. Look, the lawn and this round stone thing. What is this? Well, guys, this is a bicycle parking and garbage cans. I mean, can you see how neat everything is? It's great. So it's not an iron fence, and everything here is cool and stylish. The stones, bicycle parking again, and all these buildings are student residence. Now we are coming to the University Law School, or the Faculty of Law. And the history of this building dates back to the 16th century. One very famous woman lived here. Her name won't tell us anything, but she had a great influence here, and she was fighting slavery back then. At that time, this was a stable, and it's adjusted for bikes now. Well, it's almost horses. This is the main building, which was a house, and this building was intended for staff, or in other words, servants. Baccalaureate and master programs take place here in this building, where servants lived. The so-called law clinic is being held there. And what is that? Real companies' representatives are invited here with various cases, like legal proceedings or something, and students try to solve all these cases. How foreign students can get here? I'm telling you now. I just went to the international campus of University of East Anglia. This is a building where foreign students study, including Russian guys. There is an option to take a language program here, or foundation program, or an A-level course. A-level is a British high school. This is the only university where you can finish the A-level course. I am now in the city center, in the heart of Norwich. Many people describe Norwich as a combination of a modern and old part. And it's clearly seen here. You got some modern buildings and a church right opposite them. City council here, and further Norwich Market, which is 900 years old already. Not the one you see now, but its history began 900 years ago. You can see it from here, but there, in the distance, there is a shopping mall 500 meters away. By the way, this building houses one of the regional offices of BBC. Norwich is the only city in the UK that is located in a national park. Comparing with London, the cost of living here is 34% lower than there. Look, this is a communal kitchen of University of East Anglia student residence. Classrooms and student rooms are mixed all over the building, so it can be classrooms and rooms where students live on the same floor next to each other. Lecture halls and cafes are downstairs next to the reception. There are also other main halls. What can you study here? Look, here you got a list of subjects, which includes the main and the most popular ones, for example, accounting and finances, art history, or for example, education, economics, drama, film and television, different human sciences, law. We were at the law school yesterday, or at the faculty of law. We've been in the science building in the Enterprise Center. You can also study here media, medicine, as well as MBA, politics, psychology, public relations, PR. If you want to know more about subjects that are studied here, don't hesitate. Follow the link in the description of the video. There you'll find detailed information about into University of East Anglia, and there are also all contacts and an online chat where you can ask any questions. A few more words about numbers. Of course, we understood that Norwich is definitely cheaper than London, for example, or Manchester. Also, it's one of the safest campuses in the UK. And look, there are 4 floors, and it shows where everything is, and I want to show you this. So there are science laboratories on the 4th floor. The university has a place called the street. Yeah, here you can walk between the building, and you have shops, cafes, some information student zones, and cash points along the way. And all this inside the university. It's not a regular street, it's inside the university. Now tell me, how many universities do you know where films were made? I'm sure that none of you will guess in what film this building appeared. The Avengers, guys. The Avengers. Headquarters of the Avengers is this building. Also, it was filmed in a Spider-Man movie, appeared in Captain America, in the series of the Avengers episodes, the University of East Anglia. It is a movie star. But as I was told, everything was fenced because you can imagine all students would come here, and it was forbidden for the film crew to interact with the students. Such a small detail, well, it's kind of obvious because otherwise it wouldn't be a work, but endless photography of students with the cast. Well, inside you will find a gallery, collection, and a museum. Unfortunately, it's not allowed to take pictures inside because the collection of Lord Sainsbury is on display there. And of course, you can go inside, and it's like a real gallery. It's a museum where you can see statues or other exhibition stuff. That's all inside. There are several works on the outside. This sculpture, which was taken apart, is a work of Russian architect. By the way, this building was made by the same architect who designed the famous Gherkin in London. It is the same architect, guys. I must tell you that the campus here is really interesting for its architecture, because some of the buildings here has been preserved since the 60s, and they somehow remind me of Soviet factories. They've been renewed, but it's now prohibited to reconstruct it since it's a national heritage. This 60s architecture is very interesting. Besides, there are modern buildings in the campus, which we've seen up-to-date high-technology facilities. It's interesting to see the campus just in terms of architecture. And I've got a map for you to see the campus. It's not small, so for instance, if you want to cross the territory from one end to another, the entire way will take about 20 minutes. This gigantic building is a sports center, so what's important here, there is a swimming pool, there is an Olympic pool of 50 meters, our sportsmen participating in Olympic Games train. Also, there is a huge number of sports fields, football, tennis courts, a pool, and a gym. I wasn't able to film anything because it's not allowed everywhere. If guys are training in the gym, then the staff comes saying, no shooting please, the students are training, please don't disturb anyone. Well, I don't have any personal permission for shooting from students, and I guess I'll do the same. If I was training at the gym, doing some workout, and someone came to me with a camera, I would say, whoa, 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 whoa.
Тут съемка видео запрещена.
Just let me train. Right now, I'm in the School of Engineering. This is an absolutely new modern center. Here we can see the demonstration of prosthetic hands. A machine made by students stands here. The room for engineering design is over here. There's a lot of stuff in here. I mean, there is a huge building with 5 floors, I guess. There is a bike paddle, but it's an easy example of what can be done here. The quality is superb, just perfect. And as I said before, here you can do virtually everything that comes to your mind. And there is another important thing. I want to draw your attention to this board on which all the companies who have ever participated in financing the construction of this engineering building are written. Why did they do that? First of all, the students that study here at the university sends them to get practice in these companies. And all companies are developing, they seek for new people, new talents to work on different projects. And they just hire students after graduation. I mean, they fully cooperate with the university, and I think that's a great thing about this place. It shows career opportunities that students have here. You can see all of them in this list. I'm exploring the territory myself without representatives, and honestly, it's such a pleasure. I mean, it's like walking in a park or some cool modern residential area. Everything here is insanely tidy.